Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. My name is Stephen Choi, and this is Trading with Livevol. This is where I trade my real Reg T account, and I use LVX to show you guys how I trade and what I do, and how I use this product to make money, or try to make money is a better way. So here we go. This is my account today. So I'm having a pretty good day. As you can see, I'm up almost 10 grand today, and I'll kind of cover some of the things. I'm up about 28,000 so far using yesterday. So I had some couple of down days here, but looks like I'm doing pretty well today. So I kind of want to cover some of these P&Ls. And mostly, as you guys know, it's not like the first time I talked about it. I talked about it a bunch of times. So let's go to this IGT first. So IGT, I feel like they're waiting on several companies to bid for them. The thing I think about, the reason I got long it was because I thought, in terms of IGT situation, it's in their best interest to sell, and then it was in the acquiring company's best interest to buy them, just because they're very cash flow positive, right? So even though their sales are going down, they're cash flow positive, and they are pretty much a leader in this casino game. So I have all these calls. I started buying these OC14 calls. I'm still working these calls. So let me show you what I'm working on. Yeah, I'm still trying to buy the October 16, 18 call spread. I have 105 bid in. Probably won't get it now that it's gone up. But it was down, trading down a little bit earlier. But I think the takeover price is going to be anywhere between 17 and 20 bucks, and that's basically what I'm betting on. They should probably know. Well, this is my assessment, obviously, but maybe by end of July we should have an idea of if they actually have a deal. Now, this deal is kind of complicated. There's going to be some hurdles that they have to go over, so it's not going to be something like you make the deal and it's going to close like overnight. It might actually even take up to a year to close. So even if somebody bids 20 bucks, I highly doubt it'll be 20. It'll be a lot lower, but I think the bid might be between $17 and $20, and I think there's a pretty good chance that they'll get a bid. So that's why I'm playing the IGT. Let me go to MNKD. So these guys have a PDUFA date coming up, July 15th. It's their insulin drug, but it's inhalable versus like injecting it. Pretty revolutionary, but you know, there is still a huge short interest, and my whole assessment on this MNKD was that it's just going to do this until the PDUFA date, maybe run up a little, and I was going to sell options this whole time and make about, you know, so I'm going to put on $20,000, I'm going to make $5,000 in decay each week, I'm going to get that back, right? So that was kind of my premise. It worked for the first 2 weeks. I got kind of cute this week, and I was trying to roll it into the 11s. And then I didn't get to sell all these 10.5. As you can see, I'm way longer than short. And the whole time I thought MNKD was going to go up, but it never really did until like it looks like it's showing some life today. I'm hoping like there's some short squeeze. Usually on these kind of stocks on Fridays, it goes up because they're thinking maybe over the weekend something might happen, like a partnership or whatever. But in the end, you know, I'm trying to do the same thing. These are June. I'm going to try to sell July's, but July 3rd expiration right here. And then I'm going to sell them. So one of the things that you guys will notice is people ask me, like, why do you do these strategies? Well, the reason I do these strategies is because there's like some parameters, right? So I know there's very great deal of short interest on this. Also, the chances are, without them getting the approval, it's going to be tough for Mankind to go up too much further from here. They might have $1 or $2 on the upside. In terms of the downside, I don't think there's going to be as much downside, because my belief is that most people, including the experts, think they're actually going to get approval, right? So if 75% chance they're going to get approval, this is about the right price for the stock. So I was thinking like it was kind of wedged in between the shorts and the longs, and that it would actually stay here, and only as we reach the PDUFA date on July 15th will the longs actually kind of start pushing it higher and higher, right? Due to anticipation. It's kind of like earnings date. Everyone buys like Apple calls like a few days before earnings, and then it escalates as it gets closer and closer. I anticipate the same thing with Mankind. There'll be people who just sit around and wait, and then they'll buy stock pretty much on the last day. Well, anyway, that's my assessment. So I'm going to try to sell like 180 of these either today or on Monday. So my assessment still is that it'll probably drift up. So maybe I'm going to try to see if how high Mankind can go by the end of today. Maybe it can actually get to like 1085. I'm not sure. Let's see. We'll do an hour. Yeah, actually, it's already there. So if anything, I should probably sell the calls now. But I'm just gonna keep it for now. I have some orders in to sell right here. You can see some Mankind to sell. I'll see if I get hit, but in the end, we'll see, right? So I have to buy these back so it doesn't become exercise. And then I'll start selling these against it. Right, so for example, let's say I was able to sell 180 of these for 26 cents, or 189. Cool. 189 times 26. So it'll be $5,000 I'll be collecting next week if Mankind stays below 11 bucks, right? So it's pretty good due. So that's kind of what I'm shooting for. I'm going to try to buy these back, and then essentially I'm going to try to sell these. Some 10.5s and some 11s, just because I got 80 and 109. I'm debating I should maybe not sell all 189, but I'm going to leave it that in the air a little bit. The reason is, if you look at the risk chart, if you do a time spread where it's 50-50, what's going to happen is, you see how this red line is like actually above the P&L right now? It's because I'm short less than I'm long. If I do it exactly 1-to-1, this line, all these lines will actually start going down, because it's basically having a front spread if you do a time spread. If you don't understand, kind of go to a CBOE or whatever educational stuff you have and kind of read what front spread means. Time spread, if you're basically long the time spread, right? And it goes right through that strike. So that's Mankind. So I'm having a pretty good day. If you look at all my positions here, it's all in the positive. IGT2 been pretty positive. And then I have my last one is this one, the one that I like the most. It's Shire Pharmaceuticals. You guys probably heard about me talking about this at least a half a dozen times now. But essentially, they're getting a bid from AbbVie that they rejected, and I guess it's the third bid. And now they have until July 18th, AbbVie does, of making a final bid, right? So far, nothing, but my thinking is that they are going to make a bid. So if you look at it, I'm up like $4,000 on this stock. I did get some bad marks yesterday of 2,000, so I'm actually only up like 2, I would say, instead of 4. So you see how it's impossible to be positive on both. The thing I did do today is I bought I bought these. You see how I'm only short 19? I actually bought 5 of these for $5, and I'm going to try to sell these for $4.10. So I'm going to do the July 50-55 call spread and pay 90 cents and try to roll up one strike just so my risk chart looks better. Right. So if you look at it in the next 8 weeks, basically, if I go to July 18th, right? If the deal closes, or if the stock closes around 250 because they make a better offer. So right now the offer is about 46 billion, which is about $236. It's almost right there now. My thinking is that maybe they'll have to make a bid for 51 billion or 50 to 51 billion, which will drive the stock up between 250 and 262. And I think and they'll have to go hostile, right? So it's not like something like that Shire will go with. They actually don't want to get bought. So I think what's going to happen is they'll have to go hostile and take it straight to the shareholders. And if it finishes around 250, I should make about 23 grand, right? So a lot of times when people ask me, how do I make these decisions, right? Let me see if I can. Let me actually try to put my logic behind why I'm doing this, right? So basically what I did was I bought the July 230, 250 call spread for like, let's say 550 on the average, right? Because I think that's about right. 550 times 25 is 13,000, right? So I'm going to invest 13,750 bucks on this trade, right? Now, my thinking in terms of how I actually think this is going to turn out is I think there is 70% chance that they make a higher bid. Right? 30% chance they walk away. Now, you guys might say, hey, Stefan, how the hell did you come up with the 70-30? I just came up with it on my own from reading all the articles that was written out, right? So I know that AbbVie CEO learned from the Pfizer AstraZeneca, and he's also knowing, he knows Allergan is going through the similar thing. So he's kind of understanding a little bit better in terms of what he should do, right? Especially with the British rules on takeover, right? So these are mine. If this premise is wrong, obviously I'm going to be wrong. But at some point, you have to use in variables and input. You just have to take a guess, right? So my thinking is if this thing goes from, so I bought 25 of them, right? If it goes to $50 by expiration, those options will be worth 2,000 each, right? So 2,000 times 25 equals 50, right? That's if I'm successful, right? So the way I look at it is so 50,000 minus 13,750 equals $48,000. Actually, that's not right. It's actually better if I do it in my head, I think. 36,250. I was trying to show it to you guys, but for some reason, I'm actually better just typing it in. Okay, you guys can use the calculator. But anyway, this added with this is 36,000, right? And then I multiply this by 0.7, right? So 36,250 times 0.7. Now, just so you guys know, I don't actually do this. I just do it in my head, kind of, and I'm doing a rough estimate. But this is generally how you can do it. So, and then 30% of the time, you're gonna make nothing, right? So 0 times 0.3 equals 0, right? So my expected outcome, provided this is correct, is that I'm going to make $25,000 7 out of 10 times, and then $36,250 7 out of 10 times, and then 3 times out of 10 I'm going to get 0, right? But my expected return on this investment is $25,375, provided I executed everything correctly. So that's anytime you invest $13,750 and your expected outcome is $25,375, it's pretty good. Now let's say, maybe I'm off on this. It's not 70, but let's say it's 50, right? So yeah, what is that? That's 18,125, right? So even at 50%, it's 18,125. I don't know exactly how low you have to go to actually match 30, but to me there is definitely better than 50-50 chance that it'll be done. Now the thing that's crazy is I'm investing $14,000 on this trade, and my account is only right, 130. Well, I mean, it's a lot higher now, but before it was a lot less, right? So it's a huge thing to risk on something that's just basically like it was out of the money, but something that might not happen, right? So I did it this big just because, like I showed you, the expected return in my mind was twice what I was actually risking. At that point, I'm willing to put on a pretty sizable bet. Just like in Mankind, I expected 100% return if I was correct, and if the stock didn't move, and I didn't even have to be correct in the PDUFA outcome, right? So that's kind of how I picked Shire Pharmaceuticals. And I bought these for $5. I'm going to try to sell these. I'm going to make it 90 cents. The reason I did this, right, just so you guys know, is right. If you do this for 90 cents, the 50-55, the most it could be worth is $5, right? So you can make like 5 times your money, provided it goes to 55. So that's just something added extra. I'm not really expecting it to hit, but 5 times 90, so I'm putting up another $480, and then maybe I'll sell one of these, right, to offset it, because I'm up quite a decent amount. So I'm trying to figure out how to roll this up so I reduce my risk. I just haven't figured it out yet. So I was pricing like rolling the 30. I was pricing the 30-35 call spread, 30-40 call spread. But in any scenario, it didn't really look that great because I was just increasing the premium that I'm paying for these upside calls, which was reducing my payout in the end. All right, so that's that. Also, Facebook, as you guys know, I was long the Septembers, but I thought that Facebook looked like it was on an uptrend, quarter end, and so forth. So I basically bought these. And hopefully, let's actually go daily. I'm kind of hoping that it kind of like does like this, and then eventually goes to $70, right? So that's why I have that on. So those 4 are pretty much my main positions in my whole thing. And if you look at my account right now, you see Facebook here, I'm up, IGT, Mankind, and then Shire Pharmaceuticals, right? So, but then you guys still, as you guys see this, you'll see like all these other stuff, like you'll see Apple, ACI, BAC, Costco, Home Depot, Hewlett, So not all of them are, some of these trades I don't show you just because it's kind of irrelevant. Others I don't show you because they're from Traderminute. And as you guys know, I'm a pretty big fan of theirs, and they're doing awesome. So far, actually, let me actually explain. For those of you guys never heard of Traderminute, this is their website, traderminute.com. They take $3,000 and try to turn it into $100,000, and basically they do it every 4 months, right? So this time around, I think he's up. They're up like, I don't know, some ridiculous 1,100%. Now I gotta tell you guys, the previous 2 times they didn't do as well, which is, if I knew that they were gonna like do this great, I probably would have paid more attention. But basically, I essentially missed pretty much most of the move. But I'm now that he's so successful, I'm kind of paying more attention. But I liked his website, not because he was making money, because he wasn't making money before. But his technical analysis, I thought, was right on, and I like the fact that the stocks that he liked was very similar to the stocks that I liked. So, you know, it immediately drew my, I had an attraction to the way he picked stocks, because it was in a very similar format that I took, which was take some news, fundamental information, and then pick some, use technical as well. I use volatility and order flow as well. But in terms of technical trading, this guy obviously is far superior to me, so why do it? Why try to do everything on my own? I can learn a lot from this guy, and he actually picks trades. So he's up 1,100%. One of the things I would like to tell you guys is he's definitely worth following, and we have a great deal with him. So if you guys go to Traderminute and sign on, just type in live 569. That's live 569, and you get 1 month free. You know, so just so you guys know, he turned $3,000 into $100,000 twice already in his previous challenges, and this time around I think he's right around like, you know, like 33,000 or 34,000 or something. So like I said, I missed most of it. Sometimes I just miss his trades just because I'm in meetings and stuff, and so I have to wait a few days to put it on. Other times I just miss it because he's in and then he's out before I can even get into it. But in either case, for those of you guys who like to trade technically and who might not have 100,000 to put into an account, this guy is awesome to follow and at least listen to what he's got to say. And you guys can get a month free if you just type in LIVE 569. That's LIVE 569. And, you know, I'm going to just show it to you guys myself right now. On the money that I'm making, he is up, I'm not going to tell you exactly which ones, but he is up, yeah, so I think he's up 22. Looks like he's up about 2,000 today. So I think that's fantastic. I wish I just followed him from the beginning and did everything he did, because I would be pretty much $27,000 richer. But like I said, I only got about 10,000 of that just because you know, just because I wasn't paying as close attention. But I think he's doing great. His analysis to me is spot on, and I think he has his best days are to come. So he struggled for a little bit, but I feel like he's on a streak right now, and I think he'll do really well. So other than that, I'm still gonna, my biggest thing is this Shire, Mankind, IGT. As you guys know, I'm gonna hold this IGT for the bid. Mankind, I'm gonna sell premium, and then I'll decide at the end whether I want to play the outcome of the PDUFA ruling. And then Shire Pharmaceutical, I'm expecting like a bid within a week or so, and I think it's going to be hostile, and hopefully it's around $51 billion, so the stock's trading above 250. But other than that, that's it. Hope you guys have a good weekend, and I will talk to you guys on Monday. Take care.